just over there having a seizure. My goodness. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast.
And welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of the Back from the Grid podcast. This is your host, Matthew, speaking today. And we got our co-host here, Cody. Cody, how you doing today?
What I am doing just fantastic today, Matthew. It's been a great week. It's been a great month.
Great.
It's been a great post-graduation month, and I'm getting used to life as a non-college student, as a regular adult. And it's pretty cool. What about you, Matthew? How you doing?
It's being great. I'm shocked right now, Cody.
You're
want to know why?
Because your foot is in the power outlet.
Yes.
Okay,
exactly.
I knew it.
150%.
I knew it. You're standing on the electric
fence.
fence.
Oh, God, I can feel that electricity going
and
through my
Matthew's
veins.
dead, everybody. So thanks for listening to the podcast.
But no, seriously, it is... Get ready for this. Give me a drum roll, Cody. Come on, go like... That's terrible. There we go. It's episode 20, guys.
What?
Oh my God.
Guys,
this
20
is
whole
amazing.
episodes. What?
Oh my God. Thank you guys to all of you that have been listening, all three people that have been listening to the podcast.
All three.
We're super awesome to have been on this adventure with you guys. We never
Yes.
thought in a million years that we'd make it even
Honestly,
to episode 20. Because
we didn't think we'd make it to episode 1, to be fair.
We've been struggling with it at the very beginning, but now that we've got it all rolling around, we got
things going. We got live streams. We got social medias. We've got
things.
Weekly uploads of the podcast. It's great. Matthew, I know you've got something to talk about real quick. Something near and dear to your heart. Not necessarily mine so much, but yours. Why don't you go ahead and get the bad news out of the way real quick.
Guys, I've got some unfortunate news to tell everyone.
Yeah.
We've lost a loved one.
Yeah. Rest
Windows
in peace.
7 is officially dead.
Rest in peace. Microsoft operating system. You know, we actually have a audio editing program. You could actually edit in that instead of crabbily singing it into the microphone.
You know what? Leave me alone.
But I'll join you in that.
Hold on. We gotta both do it at the same time. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Okay, let's stop that. And no one is listening to us anymore.
So yeah, unfortunately, Microsoft this week of this podcast releasing, Microsoft has officially ended support for Windows 7 Consumer Edition.
I was peeking so bad when I did that.
Oh,
anyways,
God.
It's fine. Continue.
Anyway, so yeah, they've ended security updates. So, yeah, if you're on Windows 7, now is the time to upgrade. You can still get free upgrades.
Yes, upgrade to Windows 8.
There's nothing but silence on my end. Jesus Christ. Okay. Also, it is very important that you should update because if you had been keeping up with the news recently, I'll go ahead and inform you. The NSA recently discovered a security breach that affects all
the NSA knows that people are getting spied on? Wow, that's crazy.
But no, they detected a really bad vulnerability in Windows that Microsoft has since patched out of all recent copies of Windows 10 and 8 and 8.1.
Because
However,
8's so good.
They did not update Windows 7 for obvious reasons. So, you're vulnerable to having your information taken away.
Oh, no, guys.
Not that you have not been before, but,
even
more than before.
Now it's more than the NSA. The NSA were already in there, and they were like, oh, hey, someone else is in here, too.
Yeah, we might let them know that.
Hey, NSA, how are you doing today, NSA guy listening to us right now? I hope your day is fantastic. So I hope you drive home, and it's a beautiful day on your drive home, and you get some McDonald's, and there's no one in the line because they're NSA. I'm sure they don't make a lot of money.
Wow. Alrighty, we're already off to a great start. There went another.
Wait, who's that at the door?
FBI, open up!
Oh, geez. All right.
Anyway, so let's go ahead and move on to the rest of this entertaining podcast for today.
Matthew.
So, Cody.
Matthew. What have you been playing this week?
I've been playing some Tetris Effect. I actually got Cody to actually play a little bit of Tetris Effect over from last week.
It's not for me.
And
it is not for me.
He was playing it So I've gotten to the point of I can make calculations before blocks drop. Like I'm going like da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
I didn't do a great job when you were over playing. I have games where I just like immediately crap out at the very beginning, and that's because I have a tendency to drop blocks on accident.
Yeah.
Because I'll instead of thinking, I'll just go like go go go
Yep,
go.
Yep.
That's the mindset that I've kind of reached. But yeah, no, that and I beat Nazi Army Zombie Trilogy.
Oh, okay.
On Steam. Me and my friend basically was like, "Yo, we need to finally beat this game.
Yo,
let's play this.
Let's play."
And I honestly don't like that game.
Okay, well,
which makes me angry because it's super expensive because they don't have any physical copies, and then we bought it on PC for like $10.
Wow.
But I'm over here just like, this isn't that good.
It's not that good
because it's made by the people who make Sniper Elite. And really what it was a standalone expansion for Sniper Elite originally. So it has more of an emphasis on sniper gunplay, which when you're fighting gigantic hordes of enemies with snipers is not ideal.
Yeah.
When you're going against close quarters. I mean, the guns just all feel... But anyway, what have you been up to, Cody?
Oh boy, well, I recently introduced my two of my sisters into virtual reality. Let's just say one of them didn't take to it very well, but yeah, they seemed to enjoy it. They had a good time. I always love introducing new people to VR because it's the most rewarding experience you can have. Just to have them put that headset on and then just, whoa! And then, oh my gosh, because they're standing like on the precipice of death and destruction.
My favorite part is when they're falling. And then they go, God, it's all over.
That's a bit too much. I also, like, about a month ago, introduced my dad into VR, and I had him, like, fight zombies in Pavlov with zombie mode, and he got so freaked out. Oh, I haven't showed you. I'll have to show you the video later.
Do you have,
I have a video of it.
evidence?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was running through Notchster on Toten. The map.
Notchster and Toten?
Yeah, the original.
It's Noctur and
Whatever.
We're
Missourians, Matthew. Not even that. We are southwestern Missourians. We can talk like we like. Thank you very much, good sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Anyways, so he was running through the level, and then he pulled out the pistol, and then he forgot that he had to load it, so he was trying to load it, and then he hit the wrong button, and he dropped the gun, and then he was looking around because he didn't realize he dropped it, and then he pulled up his hand and was like, oh no, you dropped the gun. He's like, what? Where is it? And he was looking around. The zombies were getting up to him, and he's just like, I can't do it. And then he pulls the headset off.
And just like, oh my God.
It was beautiful. I'll have to show you the video later, but
I need to see that like ASAP.
However, I introduced my sisters into Beat Saber.
Oh.
And the sister closest to me in age like loved it. She absolutely adored the game. Beat Saber is an amazing game, I have to say. And Matthew can beat me at some games, but Beat Saber, I think he introduced me to it, but I'm pretty sure I'm a little above his pay grade here now.
What are you saying now?
I'm pretty sure I can
what was that?
do some good stuff because I'm at the place where I beat Expert Plus levels now. Not all of them, but I can do pretty good. Anyways, I'm not going to brag about my Beat Saber stuff. But that's what I've been doing. Playing some VR, playing some of that. I've been getting back into learning Japanese. So
that's good. Really
quickly for all my, I was going to say all my Japanese fans out there. But any of our Japanese fans out there who speak Japanese, let me...
Go ahead and try saying I'm a jerk bag.
All right. Well, I don't know how to say that. I could just say hi. So what time is it? It's evening. こんばんは。はじめまして。私はコーディ。よろしくお願いします。That's the best I got right now. I basically said,
Sir,
good evening. Good evening. Nice to meet you. My name is Cody. Treat me with kindness. よろしくお願いします doesn't really translate well into English, but it's just something you say.
I feel like that you're trying to tell me go screw myself.
That's exactly what
exactly
I said.
What I said.
Those are the words I said. But yes, I've been getting back into that. I'm wearing my Japanese Fall Festival shirt right now, which is one of my favorite shirts.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I wear it all the time.
Yeah, that's what I say. I see you every time about coming over here with that.
Yeah, dude. I'm getting into it. But I've got a long ways to go. I'm by no means a fluent speaker, but if you have been thinking about learning a language, I think you should look into it because it's a really fun experience and very
Let me ask.
Yes. I lost my train of thought when Matthew talked. I think he did too, and we were just staring at each other like who's gonna talk first? All right, go ahead. What's up?
So, what would you say was easier to learn? I know it's like very difficult to kind of pick up and learn any language. But
Yeah.
what would you say it was for Japanese?
So a lot of people say Japanese is one of the harder languages to learn for an English speaker. I think it's easy. Okay, I'm not gonna get on my soapbox because I could talk about this. I could geek out over this stuff. But effectively, it's difficult to pick up. But honestly, I think anyone could learn any language. You just got to put in the time. Like you've got to put in 2,000 plus hours in order to be able to speak a language when you're an adult. So any kids listening out there, start learning new languages now because it's so much easier.
Learn all of them.
But it's very rewarding. I would highly recommend. And there's some applications that could help you, but I don't know. I don't want to give people any shout outs for no sponsorships. Anyways, so that's what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of things. But Matthew, you know why everyone's here, right?
I don't think I do.
You know the only reason anyone listens to our podcast anymore, right?
Please indulge me.
Mountain Blade Bannerlord comes out in 45 days, guys.
Oh my
Almost
god, that's
a
less
month.
than 100 now.
Almost a month. Can you believe it? It'll be out in early access. I still haven't played the beta yet. I want to, but I've just been busy with other stuff. But
that's when you free up to sleep.
I'm also just concerned that when I play it, it's just not going to live up to my expectations.
Well, yeah, it's been... And how many years has this been out?
It's been in development since 2012.
So it's been like, what,
so
almost 10
8 years? 8 years.
I say
8 plus years. 8 plus years. Well, it feels like almost 10. It feels like almost 20 years. Anyways.
Yeah, it's 2 years away. I say almost 10.
But yeah,
that's what it feels like.
Matthew, do you have anything else to mention, to talk about, to geek out about like I have before we move on?
Oh, man. I've got some stuff I want to talk about, but it pertains to my story, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next segment, which is going to be Today in the Grid.
Yes, our news segment. Our lovely news segment everyone likes to hear about. Matthew, what is your news story today?
And remember when I was, just 5 seconds ago mentioning that? We're going to talk about Resident Evil 3.
Ooh. What about it? Because I know we've talked about it before.
So we have talked about it. So a new trailer came out recently showing off more gameplay from the game. And finally gave us an actual in-game look of Nemesis.
Dun, dun, dun.
So to anyone who has never played the original 1999 version of Resident Evil 3, Nemesis was basically... He's on the name of the game. He was quite literally the antagonist of the game of sorts. I won't get into too much detail on that because they're remaking it, so it might spoil it. But anyway, he was this guy that he chased you throughout the entirety of the game. And he would occasionally show up in the middle of the game and try to... What? He's over here just like...
No, I'm just getting confused about things, but don't worry about it.
How would you hide a body?
No.
Anyway, basically Nemesis would show up and he would try to like fight you. That's when you run like a little scary girl, and from like a stereotypical horror movie. And yeah, but anyway, they've decided to go ahead and remake that game, and they brought Nemesis back in action, and he looks even more terrifying than the original. They did mess up his face now even more in the remake. They made his teeth long, which I don't know how I feel about that, because they used to be sharp and pointy. Like, it was like normal looking teeth, but they were like sharp and like... Yeah. But in this one, they look like they're about the size of my finger. Like every individual tooth. But literally, I was watching the trailer, and then all of a sudden there's a scene where he's walking through fire like a boss. He's just like on fire, but he's just walking it off like
bad guys don't look at explosions.
Bad guys don't flinch while in explosions. But yeah, no. And apparently, the one big change that they did to Nemesis by the trailer is they replaced his distinguishable weapon. They removed the rocket launcher. He no longer has the rocket launcher, which made me go, what? That's like his thing. That's his weapon. Why would you take that away? What are you going to replace that with? And then they answered it, a flamethrower. And then I go, what?
Nani?
Nani? No. Oh God, no. No. Yes, let's just give him a gigantic flamethrower. That won't make him overpowered at all.
No, of course not.
So he's just doing that so he can make human shish kebabs. What are you doing over here?
I'm trying to do things secretly. Don't stop pointing it out. I'm messing with my microphone.
Oh God.
I don't want to get technical with microphone technical stuff, but it looks like I'm picking you up just as loud as I'm picking me up, and I'm trying to make sure that things are working properly, Matthew. Continue.
But anyway, so yeah, no, we've got that. We got a couple more informations for it. It's gonna be so Resident Evil 3 is known to be more of an action-packed game than the other. Action-packed. It's more action-packed than the other two installments in the series, Resident Evil 1 and 2. So it's got a little. They went ahead and stated the fact that yes, the Resident Evil 3 remake is gonna be more action-packed than the other remake games, and it's going to be more in line with what 3 was. They're keeping the multiple decision or / multiple routes of 3, because 3, when Nemesis, or just like there would be events in the game where you're given 2 choices, like when Nemesis shows up in RPD, you are given the option to run inside RPD, the police station, or you can fight him. And if you do decide to fight him, and you actually do kill him, you actually get rewarded for actually defeating him. And what are you?
Don't worry about it.
You're touching the microphone.
I'm fixing things.
You're fixing things,
Keep
doing
going.
all kinds of stuff. This has been a great.
Keep going.
Anyway, so yeah, no, we've got. They went ahead and also announced that Mercenaries is not going to be in the RE3 remake, which makes me just a little bit sad because Resident Evil 3 did bring in.
Keep going.
I'm gonna like turn into that scene from the Terminator.
Keep going.
Like, what's that scene where the guy was messing with the lights during an emotional shot?
I have no idea.
And he was like, the guy what's the guy's name that plays Batman in the Dark Knight trilogy?
Christopher Bale?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn into
Christian Bale?
Christian Bale. I'm gonna turn into Christian Bale over here. I'm gonna be like, "Are you serious? I'm in a serious mood, and here you are messing with the lights."
Okay, well, do you want your audio to be good or not?
Should have all been
Fight me, Christian Bale.
Hashtag Christian Bale will win.
I don't know. I mean, he's not Batman anymore, so.
Oh,
I don't even. Oh, it's Robert Pattinson, isn't it now?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
how I
This
feel
is great.
about that.
Yeah, we're just talking all kinds of news now.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my news story on Resident Evil 3. Let's move on to the next story with Cody. Cody, what do you have for us today?
All right, I have a mini story. It's not going to be a long story, but hopefully it will lead into some sort of discussion. And I'm hoping that I found it before Matthew saw it, but he probably has seen it.
I don't know.
Because it's like a month-old story, apparently. So I
well,
imagine
that's not
he's
news at that point.
From a website called We Got This Covered, written by Joe Pring. Here's the headline, everybody. Spider-Man 2 reportedly releasing in 2021 for the PlayStation 5.
Oh.
Have you heard about that yet?
Okay, so
yes, you have.
I did see your thing for it.
Yeah, I know you probably saw, but that's okay. That's okay.
But I did not know that was a thing.
Spider-Man is one of Matthew's favorite games from last year.
I do love Spider-Man.
You completed it 100%.
I did.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. And really, there's not much. It's a very small story, but the information comes from, as per Kinda Funny Games, Imran Khan. The follow-up, I don't know if I said that right. I apologize if I mispronounced that. But Imran Khan, the follow-up title is on course to hit retail in time for the aforementioned date, specifically Christmas of 2021. Further elaborating on their suspicions, Khan says, I know too much about this, so I can't speculate too much. Adding, I think Spider-Man 2 will come sooner than we think. So yeah, that's my news story. Spider-Man 2 is in development, and it's on its way, and it's going to be
Which makes sense, though, because considering how much of a huge success Spider-Man 1 was.
And how it's looking like the PlayStation 5 will be pretty large success if things go how they should go.
They did announce recently, just to add on to your story, they did announce that the Sony will not be at E3 2020 this year. So they're skipping yet again.
Yeah, but a lot of companies are not worrying about E3 because it's
starting to die off.
Well, it's just not what it needs. It's not what it okay, so thinking words. There we go. So I don't know much about it because I've never watched E3. I've never really
I
cared
love
for it.
E3, but every year nowadays it's been more disappointing
But
than last
what
time.
it used to be was a trade show for people in the business. What it is now is more of a fan show, which that already exists with like the Game Awards and other things. And then also these companies are making their own shows since they can live stream it to everybody. But the success of E3, and I watched a video on this. I don't know the entire truth about this, but from what I understand, the success of E3 came from the fact that live streaming didn't exist. So in order to get their message out, in order to show off what they have in store for everyone, they had to get all this press and everyone in the industry to come and see what they have and actually experience it and then write about it and record it with their video cameras and make stories about it and all that good stuff. But now with live streaming and things, it's just a lot easier for companies to do their own thing and not worry so much about a third party thing like E3 and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's why I think it's kind of dying out a little bit. But you know, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. What do you think about Spider-Man 2? You think it's gonna be any good?
Yes.
You've 100%.
I loved Spider-Man 1. So
You've 100%ed it. Do you think they have room to expand upon it?
Oh yeah, no. There's a lot more that they can do with it. There's a lot more. Again, Spider-Man and his comic book series. There's a lot of lore and there's a lot of groundwork that's been placed down from Spider-Man 1 to go ahead and expand it. And they definitely had a lot of foreshadowing for a sequel. I wouldn't say it's like straight on like sequel baiting, because I feel like the conclusion is satisfying enough for it. I mean, there is some slight sequel baiting in there for a second one. I'm not going to go into spoilers.
Yeah.
Because not everyone's played it, even though it is a 2018 game and we're 2020. But anyway, yeah, no, I feel like there's definitely room for improvement. There's a couple things in the game that kind of were a little bit funny, but I would give that game like a solid 9 out of 10. Like it's almost perfect. I love the web swinging. I love the fluid combat. I love the combos. I love all the things you can do. I love the crap ton of spider suits you can have and customize and then add different abilities. Like they have all the Spider-Man suits from like all the different comic books. They had the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse suit that Peter Parker wore, and I thought that looked really cool. And they also had like a comic book style suit for that. And I really liked the look of all the suits in that game. And that was a beep.
We're trying to mess with things in the background here because there's things. Matthew, your levels are low. Your levels are low. You need to like talk more into the microphone or something. That's what I've been messing with because my levels are higher than yours. So talk louder or talk more into the microphone. Anyways.
I'm talking more.
Sorry, we're trying not to get behind the scenes stuff here, guys, but we're having some technical issues, just like the live stream, which we did on Wednesday. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did a live stream.
Yeah, we did a live stream on Wednesday on Twitch, which you can check us out next Wednesday for the continuation of the amazing Portal series, where me and Matthew F with each other indefinitely. So many.
I love how we ended that. That like I'm gonna just like say it right now.
So many deaths. So many deaths. And also, we might see the live streams somewhere else? Question mark, Matthew?
Question mark. I don't
mark?
know. We'll have to see.
Okay.
We'll announce that.
I don't know if that's something that you've committed to yet or not, so I won't worry about that too much. But anyways, so were our news, headlines, good stuff, everybody.
Whee!
That's what we got
Alrighty,
today.
so we must get into
what's our next segment?
Next segment.
The next best segment.
The segment that we skipped on last week.
Yeah, because we didn't have time. We were talking too much about Star Wars.
I could have gone for a super long
You could have done a whole episode, everybody.
Alrighty, so let's move on to the next segment, which is the Versus segment.
Whoa, what did we do last time, Matthew?
I don't know, Cody.
Do
what
you
did
remember?
we do?
I had it open, but then somehow it's gone away. It has been a while since our last one, but there was a victor. And I imagine that you guys might be able to take a guess
I'm just
as to who it was who won the last
You know
episode.
what? I'm not salty. I'm not salty this time.
What is it? 19 ones that I've won. I am undefeated currently.
You know what, guys?
But this next one's gonna be good. Okay, so last time on Versus. Actually, hold on, that's pretty good.
Are you for real?
We had Zelda versus Clementine from the Walking Dead series. So there were 8 votes. And
Series is
25% of the vote voted for Clementine. 75% voted with me on the correct answer, Zelda.
There's no right or wrong answer here.
There is a right and wrong, and you chose wrong.
I always choose wrong, apparently. I'm very depressed now.
But, you know, it's really the viewers who choose, or the listeners. I keep saying viewers, man. I work in the TV's stuff, so I say that all the time. But today, we're going to be talking about two Saturday night morning cartoon classics, which you're not going to know probably both
unless
of them
you're like a Zoomer.
if you weren't born before 2000.
So if you're a millennial, we got you, fam.
Yeah.
If you're a boomer,
we got you, fam.
We're sorry.
No, boomers are okay. If you're a Gen Z,
get out of the room.
No, get on your phone, Google it, and then watch these 2 awesome shows.
On VHS.
We are versus Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory versus Jimmy Neutron from Jimmy Neutron.
Can we just say that both of which have created great memes?
Yes, both of these are very classic cartoons. I, for one, watched the crap out of Dexter's Laboratory and Jimmy Neutron and Timmy Turner and the Fairly Odd Parents and SpongeBob and Scooby-Doo. Yeah, I know, but anyways. So, we've got Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory versus Jimmy Neutron. Now, these are just these 2 characters who have no idea they're going up against each other. They just get plopped into an arena and they go at it. I mean, with both of these guys, just like fist fighting, there wouldn't be anything. So they can have tools of the trade that they have, but we're just going to be discussing. If you haven't heard a versus segment before, let us inform you. So effectively, these 2, they're going to fight each other. Whoever would win in this fight wins. Me and Matthew have our choices, which we're going to discuss, and then we're going to leave it up to you guys. And you can go on to our social media pages on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook is Back from the Grid podcast, and Twitter is Back from the Grid, and let us know what you think. Which one of us is correct and why, especially on the why. Let us know, and then we can talk about it. But Matthew, your choice is obviously the wrong choice, but it's still your choice. So
no.
Who is your choice and why?
Well, first off, he provides the best memes on the planet. First off, that should automatically win popularity vote.
Okay,
I mean, but this is not a popularity vote.
Exactly.
So let's get on to the main important things.
Yes.
First off, he has a crap ton of tools in his trades.
In his
trades. First off, I don't care.
What's his name?
Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron is your choice.
Is my choice.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a very smart individual with not an you want to know one big difference right off the bat?
What?
He doesn't have an annoying sister always trying to undermine him.
That's
true. That's true. Dee Dee always tries to screw with Dexter every opportunity.
Dee Dee loves Dexter.
Yeah, but she still screws him over most of the time.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the
no. Yeah, but still, it's an important thing.
Well, you can crap talk Dexter all you want, but what's good about Jimmy Neutron?
He's done like millions upon millions of inventions.
You wanna name some of those?
A hover vehicle, jetpack, Goddard, a computer with like a super smart, intelligent AI.
He also just
teleporter.
Lives in the basement with his laboratory.
Yeah, so does
Dexter's laboratory is this huge, multi-level, infinite.
Hey, it's not that size
laboratory
doesn't matter.
Complex. Exactly, and Dexter is shorter, but that doesn't count against him because Dexter is the smartest of the 2 of them. He has kept this huge underground laboratory from his parents for years. He's even had his sister go in there, and they still haven't found out about it. This guy can do anything better than Jimmy.
Yeah, but Jimmy doesn't need to hide it from his parents.
He does, actually.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah. Well, that's true. His parents are just too stupid to realize, which means he's got their Actually, that's a good point.
Can we just realize the fact that this doesn't make any sense?
Yeah,
like, how does these parents that obviously don't sound or look or just in general don't like even resemble what would be their parents, and yet they're still related to them to that degree? That makes
There's a
absolutely
couple
no
options,
sense.
but that's not PG enough for this podcast, so I'm gonna not discuss that. But in a fight between Dexter and Jimmy Neutron, I believe that Dexter would win because he has really pointy shoes.
What?
That's the key. He doesn't need any.
That makes no sense.
He doesn't need technical know-how on anything. He could just stab Jimmy Neutron with his shoe, and he'll win because they're both really squishy. Yes.
Because he would just pull out a laser blaster and just be like, phew.
Well,
Or he has shields.
So
He has force fields.
So would Dexter.
Spaceships.
So
time
Dexter has to
machines.
compete against Mandark, a slightly less intelligent but also super intelligent evil guy that tries to ruin his plans all the time. And he competes against him very successfully.
Yeah, and Jimmy Neutron's fought against countless enemies. For
Like
the past.
what?
A gigantic alien race of people who tried taking over the planet and enslaving everyone.
Okay, but I think you'll find a lot of Jimmy's adventures end with him fighting his own creations.
Yeah, and he still beats them.
Barely, a lot of times. Like, he once had to fight his own pants because they took over the town.
And yet he still did it.
Yeah, but it was his problem he caused.
Not all of them are his.
Dexter fights against... Okay, I will say real quick something about Dexter. One of the funniest episodes, which I don't even know why because I was a little kid, but it was the episode where he discovered a thing that was wrong with him, and he had like building pressure inside him, and he thought he was gonna explode. And the whole episode, he's building up like, I'll give my laboratory to you, DD, and then he goes up to his parents and he's about to tell them about their laboratory, and he can feel the pressure building up, and he's like, okay, this is it, and then he just farts. I know it's the stupidest episode, but
oh my god,
it was one of my favorites.
Why?
Anyways, so yeah, that's about Dexter, but talk about Jimmy Neutron for a little bit.
Well, first off, Jimmy is like super smart, just like Dexter, but I feel like he more focuses on more of a combat style of intelligence, where he focuses more on building weaponry and defenses to some degree, while also studying with science. So he always has protections and countermeasures to defend himself and his friends in the event something goes wrong.
Now that's a point. Jimmy Neutron relies very heavily on his friends, on Goddard, on Carl, on Sheen. I think it's Sheen. Dexter does everything by himself while competing against his sister that's trying to screw him over the whole time, and he still gets it done every time. And this is a fight between just the two of them.
Hey, I didn't say they entirely relied on them. And also, I bet Dexter's had moments where he's needed a helping hand.
Every now and again, but every episode, Jimmy Neutron can't do anything without his friends. Even the friends that he doesn't like, his like love interests and stuff, he still has to rely very heavily on them to succeed, where Dexter can succeed by himself.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I think we ran out of ran out of discussion
but
ladies and gentlemen.
But he has Goddard.
Not right now. Not while they're fighting.
Well, technically, it's not.
Technically.
Technically.
That's not yet. That's the next
That's
segment,
the next
Matthew.
one, but we won't get into that yet.
No. So, yeah. So that's the versus segment, everybody. Let us know your opinions and what you think. Who would win in a fight between Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory and Jimmy Neutron?
I'm confident I will win this one, but in the event I don't, I will come in here on the next podcast.
You're gonna give me $100,
and I will eat a whole jar.
I don't want you to eat a whole jar of anything while we're recording.
What is it called? The stuff the Canadians like.
Maple syrup?
No.
What? Are you trying to offend like a whole portion of our listeners?
It's like this spread. It's like it starts with an M.
Maple syrup?
No. Oh my gosh, it's something that goes on crackers or something like that. It's like this sweet, really
maple syrup.
Oh my god.
What are you talking
maple
about?
syrup.
Well, you said it starts with an M. It's like really sweet. It goes on crackers. Maple syrup.
Molasses or something? Marmite or
Marmite?
Marmite, yeah. Marmite.
That's like Australians that really like Marmite. I guess there are lots of different nationalities that like Marmite.
Oh
all right.
God.
Anyways, besides Matthew's very racist opinions over
That's
here,
not racist.
let us know on Facebook at Back from the Grid podcast and Twitter from Back from the Grid. Let us know what you guys think, and leave a comment because we will talk about your comment and give you a shout out on the show. We want to know why you think who should win in that fight. So
I'll just say in defense right now.
in defense, Matthew,
in defense,
you have a whole segment coming up where you can make yourself sound smart. So why don't you just stick to that and let's move on from the racism. And
that's not racism.
Let's move on.
That's assuming nationality.
Let's move on to. Oh my God. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Where would you hide the body? Let's not do that again.
Where would you hide a body?
What is this next segment, Matthew?
Well, technically.
Ooh, technically what?
Alrighty, let's go ahead and head right on into this next segment of Well, Technically. So this week's Well, Technically portion of our podcast will be devoted to the University of Vermont's discoveries and advances in oh my God.
I'm trying to help, man. Talk louder.
Talk
louder.
Anyway, so
People
the
can't
University
hear
of Vermont had recently pushed an article basically saying that they had been created the first living robots coined xenobots assembled from cells with the promise to advance drug delivery and toxic waste cleanup.
Wait, is this like nanobots?
Yes, but made with DNA from frogs and stuff.
Huh.
So basically, from what they detailed in their article, they went ahead and said that a team of scientists repurposed living tissue and cells from frog DNA, and they assembled them into creating new life forms, which these small cell, single cell organisms end up being like a couple millimeters wide. They can move towards the targets, and they can also pick up payloads like medicine and the such, and they can also heal themselves after being cut. Anyway, so yeah, no, scientists are hoping that after this recent discovery and all these advancements that they've been having while working on this project, that they'll later be able to use them in the faster delivery of drugs to certain parts of the body, and also use them to remove waste in the body. For example, with cardiovascular diseases or stuff with the heart valves, getting a bunch of clogged waste in them, they can use those to possibly dislocate that and remove that from those valves, clearing up some heart passages. Okay. Which is really amazing. So let's go ahead and discuss this a little bit. That is amazing.
That's also terrifying. Having little robots moving around inside
They die and they don't live long.
That's what they say.
No. So the demos from what they've shown is they don't live long, like a couple hours maybe.
That's what they say. But what happens when one of them does what a cancer cell does and decides not to die and multiplies, and then you've got a blob situation. Then you've got the gray goo that starts to just devour everything in its path and multiply forever and destroy everything.
But yeah, that's like one of the pictures I'm showing Cody right now of.
Yeah, look it up online, you guys. What is the headline? Just look up Xenobot.
Xenobots. But yeah, no, they can be programmed to kind of move, and kind of like showing Cody right now the kind of demo that they had on their website article. It's an article published by the University of Vermont and UVM Today. And the article is team builds the first living robot.
That's pretty cool.
So, but yeah, no, the really cool thing is the fact that it can be cut apart and it can rebuild itself.
I don't like it.
So it heals itself.
I don't like it.
So imagine the later down the road we can end up making it to where it heals cuts like instantly.
This
imagine
could be amazing.
The purpose of this technology.
This could be amazing.
It's just like how that we've been having 3D printers, 3D printing working organs.
Yeah.
That with a specific blood type. So this is really cool technology in this medical field.
I'm not trying to like poo-poo it or anything. Like, this is great technology. This is amazing work. Everyone who is involved in this is doing amazing things. I could never do anything like this because holy crap.
That's a lot of, imagine how many years of work it took them to probably make something like this. This is literally, from the picture we're showing here, folks, it's literally, they have a cell
can't see the picture.
Moving. We're going to describe it.
I know, but...
So basically, they have the robot kind of programmed to move forward, and it's showing a visual representation of what they're trying to get it to do and the actual live feed of what the cell's doing.
And we say that it's a robot, but it's made of cells and tissue. Yeah. It's not metal or anything. It's not like a nanobot. It's not like a
robotic thing made of metal. This is made of living tissue.
Yeah, but it's made of living tissue by people for a specific purpose, which is pretty crazy. Now, what creature did you say they made this with?
Frog DNA, which is really weird for them to. Why frog DNA? That's one big question I kind of have.
They use what DNA again?
Frog DNA.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the freaking
Oh my god. They turn the frogs gay.
Turn the freaking frogs gay. That's the first thing I thought when you said that. But I wanted it to be serious for a little while. If you guys haven't seen it, please go to YouTube and just look up gay frogs because it's the best video ever. It's Alex Jones from InfoWars talking about turn the freaking frogs. Yeah, I'd play the whole thing here, but we'd get copyright strike. But it's amazing.
Gosh darn it. We were all like serious up in here.
They're creating cells to turn the freaking frogs gay. Do you understand that? Oh, jeez, I'm sorry. That's what I thought of. Now I have to listen to that whole song after the podcast.
Okay, so this is really cool technology, and we can't wait to see what it does, and hopefully it helps with those diseases.
Matthew.
Yes.
Now we get to the next segment. Do you know what happened? Google listened to us, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you ready?
Google
Cody?
heard us. Are you ready for this? Take a listen.
LPIAY.
They turned it back.
LPIAY
is back, ladies and gentlemen, and believe you me, I have recorded that. They're not changing it again. It's there.
It's now forever in the Disney vault. It's never going back.
Ever. All right, Matthew. What's today's LPIAY?
So last podcast, I asked you, what is something you would never ask your boss? Now, before we continue, I didn't get any responses, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about this. Me and Cody. Let me
Cody and Cody?
Me and Cody and Cody.
Wow,
so,
there's another me here. Wow, that's so creepy.
That's cool. That's so weird. He's from a different timeline.
He's just staring at me.
Anyway, let's go ahead because we're probably going to have like our bosses listening to this. And in that case, like, hi.
I don't know about that.
Actually, funny enough, my boss actually overheard I had a podcast. So he asked
Hey, Matthew's boss, guess what?
So
you're a wonderful human being and you should pay Matthew more money.
Yes,
Anyways.
exactly. So this is not directed. This is more for comedic purposes. We have to say that right now in the event somebody in the future goes and looks this back.
Look, this question.
Let's get right on into it.
This is a rough question.
This is a rough question.
There are so many things you should never ask your boss. Like, there's a million questions that you shouldn't ask.
Life?
That you shouldn't ask any human being unless you're like close to them, but like especially your boss. But I mean, I guess there's a million ones that you shouldn't ask your boss. What do you think? What did you have in mind when you asked this question? Everyone wants to know what was going through your head when you developed this question.
Okay, now I've got a really fun. Let me go ahead and say my thing, and then I also got a really cool story to go along with this.
All right, go for it.
Okay, so I would probably say something you should never ask your boss is, so when are they replacing you?
I mean, yeah, that's one of them.
So when are you getting fired? Because that's probably not a good thing to say. They'd probably give you this look of, what the heck did you just say?
Yeah.
And they'd probably be like, well, the real question should be, when are we replacing you?
Wow.
But anyway, so moving on.
You just burned yourself with your imaginary boss. Good job.
Roasted.
Good job. What's the story?
So, funny enough, at the retail chain that I work at, I went ahead and asked a really weird question because they've kind of gotten the distinguishing factor of, I'm really weird.
What? No. Where would you hide the body?
So I asked them, what would you guys do if I died on the clock? And they gave me this look.
Question.
They gave me this look of, what?
I think everyone's thought about that. Like, what would someone do if I just dropped it?
Dropped it. Oh, well, Cody's dead, everybody. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. We're never having another podcast again. And Cody broke his computer by the looks of it, and now he's sad. Frogs freaking. Okay. Anyway.
I love that video so much. Oh, man. People are so stupid, but I love it.
Anyway,
right.
So
what's the next one? I don't have a question. There's so many. will you give me a raise? Done. Easy.
I feel like that's not really a question.
Yeah, you
that
should
can't-
actually ask your boss that. If you deserve a raise, sometimes you just got to remind him of that. I wouldn't ask my boss that because I don't want to get fired, but, you know. Anyways, please don't be listening to this. What's the
We're
next
fired.
question, Matthew?
Anyway, so next week's question is going to be, which one is better in your guys' opinion, Android and iPhone, and why?
There is only one correct answer.
And that's Android. But
Hey,
let's go ahead and give
Don't
us
answer
your
your
opinion.
own question. I was just gonna leave it on a cliffhanger there. Now you just answered your own question.
Or
Oh,
is
man.
it? Dun,
Okay.
dun, dun.
So where should they answer this question, Matthew, so that we can read it on the podcast?
On our social media pages,
Which
at,
are?
Back from the Grid podcast on Twitter.
Nope.
What that it is.
Nope. It's at Back from the Grid
Yeah,
podcast
at
on
Back-
Facebook.
Oh, sorry.
Back from the
At
Grid
Bat-
on Twitter. And Back from the Grid on Twitch if you want to see us play Portal and be stupid all the time.
Yes, you should.
On Wednesdays,
definitely.
noon to 2 at Central Standard Time.
But you know what? I'm so done here. I'm so sick
This
with
was
you. You know
oh,
what I'm
geez.
also sick of? This podcast. Let's go ahead and
Wow.
end it for today.
Wow.
Everybody.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. And this was a really fun podcast. Hey, it's the 20th thing.
It's the 20th episode.
Unfortunately, because we've been doing stuff and busy, weren't able to like plan any big hurrahs for this. But
We're gonna go out and we're gonna party. We may have
Exactly.
a review. Should we go ahead and make this announcement for
I don't
our
know
next?
write it down real quick before, but just like write it somewhere so I can see it. What are you trying to talk
I'll
about?
say.
No, that's okay. They'll find out next week. There's a new awesome thing coming next week
We got a
on the
review.
Back from the Grid podcast.
But we're not gonna say what we're reviewing.
Yes, well, we're reviewing a movie, but you'll find out.
You'll find out.
You'll find out.
You'll find out. Yeah.
All right.
But
well,
anyway.
thank you guys so much for listening. Matthew, take us out of here.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day
And week.
and year, and in life and eternity.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you guys for listening. We'll see you on the next exciting episode of the Back from the Grid podcast.
Yeah. There you go. Good job.
Yes.